Key areas of interest for the Minerals Council and its members in relation to the amendment bill really range on certainty and predictability of the bill. And what we mean by that is that the way that the bill should read should be with clarity and specificity in terms of what it expects any investor or operator in the mining industry should do, but also should not do. And so the bill should not read in a manner that is subject to interpretation. Another key principle for us is that the way that the bill is administered also needs to be very efficient. And what we mean by that is that if the bill says that you will be allocated a prospecting right on maybe 60 days or 180 days, it must be that 180 days and not longer. Why that is important? It provides for effective and efficient planning in terms of the amount of money that will be invested in the administration for application processes, but more importantly, the amount of money that will then be planned and invested in exploration, where you've applied for a prospecting right, or in mine development, where you're going to be building a mine. And then lastly, some of the key specific areas, for instance, include certainty when it comes to mine closure. And why that is important is that over the life of a mine, there are significant liabilities that are accumulated, which are provided for in terms of money. And so the granting of a mine closure certificate and ensuring that those liabilities have been dealt with is important for any investor. But it also provides for new opportunities in terms of what those remaining assets can be used for. And we've seen very good examples of where old sites of mining have been converted into new economic investment opportunities. So transformation and sustainable development are key to the endurance and the long-term success of mining, as it would be for any business. And a thriving mining industry actually provides for growth and investment in transformation, where we're able to include more people in various roles, but also as the industry innovates, you're also including more people in those new innovations, in those new areas of growth. And from a South African perspective, inclusivity is something that is absolutely important for our economy, and it's part of our constitution. So including women, including youth, people with disabilities, all who can contribute to the economy. But that requires a growing and an expanding mining industry, which then provides for growth in downstream industries as well. I'll also talk about sustainable development. And perhaps let's be clear on what we mean by that. I think the classic definition of sustainable development is investing enough today such that you leave sufficient for tomorrow. And so investing in mining also means that we have to make sure that we also protect the environment, because that is the source of sustenance for current and future generations. And so environmental stewardship in all its forms, and where mining is concerned, this has to do with water, with response to climate change in terms of carbon efficiency, as well as with the use of land. These are amongst the key areas of sustainable development for mining. And we've seen some very good examples of mining companies looking at water treatment plants, looking at nature and preservation of nature, where mining and natural habitats coexist. And in fact, we're seeing that being taken even further to mining and agriculture being able to coexist. So these two elements of transformation in relation to people, but also sustainable development holistically in terms of environment, but also the benefit from the environment for people are important to the long-term success of the mining industry. In our process of engagement with the DNPR on the amendment bill, we've seen great collaborative engagements taking place. And this is really, for me, the beginning of building common ground with government, where on the one hand, what government can offer in terms of clarity of policy and certainty and predictability of that policy should then provide, from a private sector perspective, the supply of capital and investment into skills, as well as investing into the mining industry for growth. And this is how I see this collaboration between these two parties. And at the end of the day, it's really talking to and recognizing the impact that mining has had in the country in the past, and the impact that it can continue to have going forward, given the increased demand for the metals that we're already producing, but also the new metals that are going to be required for innovation, such as critical minerals. And I think combined, both between ourselves and government, but I think also looking at the past and the future, it really talks to the one thing that the Minerals Council believes in, which is #MiningMatters.